Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News Update. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Today, I'm highlighting news from right here in Trinidad and Tobago. People's National Movement, also known as People's National Mistake. General Secretary Foster Cummings, Saint Cummings, that is the saint of the PNM, says the party is prepared to defend itself against an ongoing police investigation into the funding and construction of its multi-million-dollar Balisier House headquarters in Port of Spain, but insists government's real motive is to persecute and embarrass the party. Now, that Balisier House, I call it a temple. The PNM people consider their party to be their God, their country, and their tribe, and that is where they go to worship. So basically, that is a Balisier temple. This is something that has been a concern that has been raised for a long time. I do believe that politics is part of it. I do believe it is politically motivated. The TTPS never investigated this, even though those concerns were raised for a very long time, as I tell you, especially by the ground report with Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Michael Kerr. Right? It was for years they were raising that issue, even while the Balisier temple was under construction. But I think it is something that is important to be investigated, even though it is politically motivated, I believe. Addressing supporters during a political meeting at Balisier House earlier this week, Cummings sought to reassure party members that all would be well following the recent court-ordered investigation. Let's just hope so. His comments come just over a week after he was served with a court order compelling the PNM to provide financial and other records explaining the funding of the multi-million-dollar construction Balisier House. Yes, because we all want to know. We all want to know how you ended up, how your party ended up allocating millions of dollars in funds in order to build that temple, right? You were in government. Now, even if you were in opposition, you still need to be accountable for your actions, and you need to explain how you acquired those funds. People are assuming, I think the TTPS is suspecting money laundering or whatsoever. That's between them and the TTPS, because the TTPS can't really solve anything. Can't even solve a jigsaw puzzle. But still, the investigation needs to be conducted, because just in case, we need to know if it was that state funds were used. Because remember, they were in government and they would have had access to state funds. And this is all I really care about, is whether or not state funds were used. But once again, with the incompetent TTPS, it's very hard. It's very unlikely that we will ever really find out the truth about this situation. Speaking publicly for the first time about being served, Cummings said he made no effort to evade investigators. I do believe he's saying the truth, and I agree with what he's saying there. He was abroad, just like how Kaya Sealy was abroad, receiving medical attention due to her injury that was caused by the police service. But anyhow, so it's the same thing with him. He was abroad as well. And he said that he had informed investigators that he would be returning to Trinidad and Tobago and was available to receive the documents. So just like with Kaya Sealy, her lawyers told the TTPS that she would meet them by the police station. But because they wanted a PR stunt, they wanted to give the impression as though they were going after a fugitive, they went and arrested her by the airport. And it's the same thing, they went after Saint Cummings, by the airport in order to serve him with the documents. That was not necessary. It was not necessary. He added, notwithstanding that, like a thief in the night, to cause bacchanal and couture, they showed up to try and embarrass the PNM. He's right about that. Maintaining the party would not be intimidated, he told supporters the party's legal team was prepared for the challenge. As I said before, it's hard for any one of us to believe that you allocated these funds via cake sales and raffle tickets. What type of raffle tickets those were? That was? I mean, yeah, here was a car and whatever and stuff like that, but millions of dollars? Like your sponsors or financiers or whatever bought tens of thousands of raffle tickets. I don't know. It's just strange. He also sought to calm supporters concerned about the investigation, while sharply criticizing the government over what he described as political persecution coming stop short of alleging direct political interference in the police investigation. Yeah, because PNM love the TTPS and you take it to them. They love to use them. I make no reckless allegation about any minister directing police investigation because I don't want to practice and condone what I am condemning, he said. But if that is happening, it is wrong and it should stop. He's a hypocrite because the PNM weaponized the TTPS for decades upon decades, especially for the past 9.5 years. CAMS is just following in your footsteps, not in your footsteps in particular, Cummings, but the PNM's footsteps. So you could miss me with that.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago. On Saturday, July 25, 2026, conditions will be variably cloudy and breezy with scattered thunderstorms across Trinidad and Tobago. Daytime temperatures will reach a high of 27 degrees Celsius with a low of 24 degrees Celsius at night. Real feel heat index temperatures will feel like 30 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius due to high humidity. Winds will be blowing from the east to southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour with higher gusts near showers. Mild Saharan dust concentrations will be present in the atmosphere throughout the day. The overall risk of rain is high at 70% with heavy downpours possible in localized areas. Open waters will be slight to moderate with waves from 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters in open areas and near calm in sheltered bays. Bible quote of the day. Psalm 10:11-13. He says to himself, God has forgotten, he covers his face and never sees. Arise, Lord. Lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. Why does the wicked man revile God? Why does he say to himself, he will never call me to account?
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news update. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's how the channel will continue to grow and reach a larger amount of people throughout the world. But stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.